Welcome back to The Narrative. I'm your storyteller, Callistra Farrier. Well, if you live in the Caribbean and if you live in beautiful Grenada, swimming should be second nature. We have water all around us. And since 2017, a group of people have been trying to get Grenada swimming, trying to get as many people as possible across the age groups swimming. And Deb Eastwood, who is a swim instructor and in charge of the program that's sponsored by Sandals, they're the corporate sponsors of this, she is joining me to talk about this year's Get Grenada Swimming program that's happening across the country for 1 week. This is an annual event. Deb, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to talk.
It's good to have you, and congratulations on another year of Get Grenada Swimming. So let's talk about it. Thousands of people so far have gone through the program. What can we expect this year?
Well, I would like for this particular swim week to teach between 900 and 1,000 people. We'll see. Last year we were in the 900s, and we have 2 swim weeks every year, and this one is the week after kids get out of school. So people can sign up and they can go to any one of 19 locations, and they get a lesson every single day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is really good because after 5 lessons, somebody's water safe. They can float if they fell out of a boat. They could turn over and move a bit. So it's not that they'd be great swimmers, but they would definitely be water safe.
And so we're looking at all age groups. I know I saw you in the early days. I came across your team at Grand Dance Beach, and now you're doing all age groups. Did you always do that, or was it child focused at one point?
It was more child focused in the beginning, but then we had lots of parents that would come and they'd sit on the beach for an hour while their kids were taking a lesson. And we thought, well, this is crazy. So we started encouraging them to go in. And then we just made a big push. The last 3 years, big push for adults. Lots of middle-aged women come out, and we have some seniors. We've taught up to 80-year-olds. So right now we'll teach anyone and we've gone lower also. In the beginning it was 6 and older. It's now 5 and older. We can teach younger. It's just the teacher to student ratio has to be 1 to 1 when they're like 4 and under. And so when we have that many coming for lessons, we don't actually have enough instructors to be always doing one-on-one. Although there's a really good chance if you come for a lesson during swim week, it'll only be 1 person or 2 person per instructor, because we have 130 instructors across the island that will be teaching next week.
And this is a significant expansion of the program. You're now
Yes.
at 19 locations. It was just Grand Dance Beach at one point, was it not?
Yes, it went from Grand Anse only to 3 locations. I think in 2015 we did 3 locations, and every year we've tried to expand it a little bit more. And this is pretty much the max, 19 locations. If you go around Grenada, almost anybody could get to one of those locations in about 10 to 15 minutes. Somehow they could get to one of these locations. We have one in the middle of Grenada in a river. It's called Birch Grove. And the guy there, Chris Mellows, he owns the Mellows complex. He lets us use his property. And so we have a site in the middle. We have Good Hope Pool, which is kind of in the middle, a little north of town. And then everything else is on beaches.
But it's interesting, the river,
Yes.
there's a river huge enough in Birch Grove where you can swim.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. I wouldn't call it huge, but it's big enough to teach swimming.
well, that's interesting, and that certainly is new for the program. It's the only river, and it's the first time you're doing river swimming in the Get Grenada swimming program then.
Well, this year isn't the first. I mean, this is like our third year with Birch Grove. And a lot of these locations that are learn to swim locations during the week also offer Saturday free lessons. So it's not just the 1 week. There are 12 locations out of the 19 that offer free swim lessons every Saturday. So it's expanded that way too.
And let's talk about the 19 locations so people can find you, because
Yes.
we hear sometimes during the holidays, Easter, or when people get together and they go to Bathway and those places, you sometimes hear of tragedies, or Concord Falls. You hear of tragedies, and it's one thing that we do not have designated lifeguards in those areas. But if a
Right.
person can manage in the water, then sometimes it's possible a tragedy can be averted. So where can people
Exactly.
go? Where can people find you during this week and on Saturdays?
Uh, where can they find what we're doing, like the location?
Yeah,
We-
Get Grenada
Okay,
Swimming.
so we have a website and it lists all the locations. It's www.getgrenadaswimming.com. I'll say it again, getgrenadaswimming.com. That lists all of our locations. It lists my information so people can call me. I'm at 404-5237. That's 404-5237. And yes, we're going to be at those locations from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. So this particular swim week is for the mornings. We do that and we try to incorporate camps. So if anybody out there is already running a camp, we should be part of your program. Okay. Because all you have to do is get the children there and they can get swim lessons. So you can just make it part of your curriculum. We probably have 8 camps or summer schools that are joining us all the way from Telescope to Grand Anse, up the other sides of Grenada. So lots of opportunities to swim this week.
You have these swim camps at Victoria, in St. Mark and St. John, in the main districts. You have them as well.
Yep, we have places in every single parish. So, and in some we have in St. George's, we have like 5 or 6. Up in, we've got up north in St. Patrick's, we've got Sauterres and Bathway. And then in St. Andrews, we have Telescope, which is near Grenville. And then we do have the Birch Grove River, and also Cabier Beach. And so you can just, there's a map. We have this map on the website and you can look at the map of Grenada and it shows all of our locations. You can click on the circle and it will give you the information for the site and who the site supervisor is. And so there's tons of information at that website.
And during Karakou as well.
Yes, in Carriacou, we are at Paradise Beach near the bathrooms, and we're also in Petit Martinique, and there we're at Meringue Beach. So there's not an excuse for anyone not to know how to swim. I mean, one of the things when I first got here in 2007 was there was a real fear of swimming. And I think that, from our programs and others, the Ministry of Sports has a great program where they teach lessons up at Good Hope Pool. But I think we've changed that. I think Grenada, again, because of our size and the programs we've gotten going, is the first Caribbean country to start breaking the fear of swimming, because it is a natural cultural fear that's just in the Caribbean islands. And don't quite know why. It might go way back to colonial days and coming over in ships, and who knows. But there used to be crazy myths, like people would take off their socks and shoes. When I first started doing this, I was a teacher, and on Fridays I would be taking the kids to the beach, and it was really interesting because all of a sudden I would notice they're sitting at their desk and they have bare feet. I'm like, where are your shoes? Oh, miss, we have to air out.
You have to cool out. You have to cool out
Yeah,
before you get
yeah.
in there.
I'm like, you don't have to do that. But then I heard from parents, so I should not say. I have to be careful of what I say because it goes home, But that's a myth, and but lots of that's gone. There's a whole saying. There's a saying in Grenada also. People have said to me, "The sea has no branches," and I'm like, okay, But it used to be a lot of tourists on the beaches, and this is our land. I'm Grenadian. I've been Grenadian for a while now, at least as a citizen. We should enjoy our beaches as much as the tourists enjoy our beaches. And not only that, it's healthy. Oh my gosh, over the years, I've really gotten to realize how healthy swimming is. It is the best exercise out of any sport because it moves all of the muscles. Okay, almost every muscle in your body moves when you're swimming. And the other part to that is it's low impact. So when you're swimming, it's not like running and your knees are taking a beating. It's just very healthy. Respiratory system, your heart, the cardiac. It's good for people of all ages, especially seniors. Like I said, you can be a senior and you might not be able to do a lot of other exercises, but you really can swim. You can get out and move. There are things called water aerobics if you want to take your noodle and get out there and do kind of fun things, and just lots of good reasons. And we teach special ed kids. We're not just, I don't want to put it out there like we're specially qualified, but there are a lot of special needs kids that can learn to swim, We have actually at Cameron Park, we're going to have a 1 hour session devoted to that because we've done a lot of kids that are autistic, Down syndrome, lots of other things like that. You can swim if you have those things going on.
And it is important, particularly important for them as well, because they
Yes.
are challenged in some ways to at least have some capacity when it comes to water safety as well.
Right. Right.
And so, Get Grenada Swimming is not just about saving your life in the
No.
water, but also saving your life on land, because you talked about all the health benefits. And I know the government has this push right now called Get Grenada Moving. I think it's, or Move Grenada or something like that, where they're trying to get this health craze and health consciousness across the population. But you're already ahead of the curve on that. Thousands of people have gone into the water with you and
Right.
can now do their own exercises, go swimming.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, it's so healthy that there are just so many reasons to swim besides like saving drowning. I didn't actually start it, although I mean, I'm glad that's part of it. It wasn't to save lives, it was to enrich lives because swimming is a life skill that people have worldwide. And there are a lot of reasons to swim, and it builds like self confidence. I wish I could. I do have one video that's been online, just teaching an older lady, a middle aged lady, to swim. What a lot of them have not experienced floating. Okay, can you imagine? Like if you are a swimmer, can imagine learning to float for the first time. And sometimes the ladies will just go, they'll on their back and they'll go, woo! Like one person I couldn't teach after I taught her to float for the rest of that lesson because she was just having such a good time floating. And we've brought a lot of kids up through the programs and also taught them to be swim instructors. So we've taken them from non-swimmers to swim instructors. And some of them we've taken to be lifeguards and with a paying job because I manage the lifeguards for both Bathway and Grand Anse. So they move right through the progress. And some of the people that have gone through now work at the dive shops. They're boat captains. We have a couple that are marine biologists. So it's a life skill that will help you completely throughout your life. And it's a sport that it's something you can do all your life where you might be a good football player, but that it's not something, you're going to do in your 70s and 80s, that kind of thing.
This is The Narrative, and I'm on with Deb Eastwood. We're talking about Get Swimming Grenada. It's a program that's been ongoing. Thousands of Grenadians, in fact, 8,000 Grenadians are learning to swim in the last 5 years, and a target of another 10,000 to be taught to swim over the next 5 years under Get Swimming Grenada, the program supported by Sandals Foundation. And with 19 training sites across the country, 1 week program, intensive program, happens twice per year, plus Saturday programs. We're discussing all of that, as well as the importance of water safety and the health benefits. More when we come back.